friends, it's Valerie. Welcome back to another week's What's for Dinner. If you're new here, welcome. I'd love if you'd hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. I put out What's for Dinner videos every week, and I hope that you enjoy these meals that I have for you. There are 3 inspirational meals, and we actually love them a lot, and I make a lot of recipes now that I do these videos, so we're always trying lots of new things on the regular, and we always typically like them because they're meals that I would pick that I feel like we'd like in the first place. So I typically like all of them. There have been a few that I didn't like, and then I just don't include them in videos because I don't think, if I wouldn't need it, I wouldn't want to recommend it to you guys. So, but these 3, they are now going to be in our permanent rotation of meals because there was some quick and easy ones in there, and I can do these really quick when I need to get a meal done, as well as being very delicious. So I hope that you enjoy them as much as we did. And also I wanted to make a note that I had a subscriber ask for me to put the recipes in my description, written out so they could print it. And I used to actually put them in my description bar in a Google Drive file, so you could click the link and download it or save it to your Google Drive so that you can print them for yourselves. And then I stopped doing that because I wasn't sure if people were even liking that or using the feature. But this subscriber did ask for that, so I am going to be putting that link in the description box for anybody who's interested in printing the recipes or saving them for future easy access. So other than that, let's just get started. This first recipe is an Instant Pot enchilada pasta. I'm going to start off by putting my Instant Pot on saute setting, and once it's hot, I'm going to add in 1 pound of ground beef, and then I'm just using my meat grinding tool here to go ahead and break that all up, and I'm going to continue to break that up as it browns up a little bit more. Now I'm just adding in some diced onions, and I just keep frozen onions for meals like this that are going to be cooked, so I just put some of those in there, and I'm going to mix them with the meat and let those begin to soften and become translucent while that meat finishes browning up. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in 8 ounces of penne pasta on top of that meat, and you're going to make sure that you don't stir. After this point, once you've put the pasta in, don't stir anymore. So I'm just pressing it evenly across the top of that meat mixture, and now on top of that I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning and a 10-ounce can of enchilada sauce on top of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 cups of beef broth, and I'm just using the beef better than bouillon mixed with some water. And then I'm going to go ahead and press that pasta down into the liquid, making sure that it's all submerged with liquid. If you don't have enough liquid, you can add some additional broth or water, just enough to just cover the top of the pasta. You don't need much more over that. And then after that, I'm going to add in my can of black beans that I've rinsed and drained, and I'm just going to also just spread those out on top a little bit more evenly, but still making sure not to stir anything. And then I'm placing the lid on to sealing, and I'm going to cook that on manual pressure for 4 minutes with a 5-minute natural release. And then once that 5 minutes of natural release is done, I'm just going to quick release any remaining pressure and go ahead and stir in my cheese, and just go ahead and give that a good stir so it's combined well, and it's going to start to melt. And you might see the bottom of your pan a little saucy, just it will thicken with the cheese as well as it begins to cool down. And I'm using this bag of already cut up romaine lettuce and some Parmesan cheese on top of it. I was craving a Caesar salad, so I thought this would be a good side for that. So I'm just putting some of this shaved Parmesan cheese on top, and then I think I'm just going to put some croutons, and in a moment you'll see my favorite Caesar dressing. And I'm going to sprinkle that with some additional cheddar cheese because I love cheddar cheese, and I didn't get it in the video, but I decided to add it after, and I added 2 tablespoons of, or around there, just like 2 dollops of sour cream on top. It was really, really good with the sour cream. I definitely recommend this Instant Pot pasta if you like enchilada flavors, and if you have an Instant Pot, it was fabulous and quick, and we definitely loved it. This next meal is sheet pan teriyaki salmon and vegetables. I'm starting off with some broccoli. I didn't have any specific amounts. This is just a couple small heads that I had, and some carrots that I sliced up as well. I wasn't going to record this, so I didn't actually record the beginning part because I was in a rush to get a meal done really quick, but I did decide to record because I feel like for those of you who are looking for something really good, like this is a decently good meal, but it's also very quick with minimal cleanup, that you might want to see that. So I did decide to record it for you guys, but I didn't catch me cutting the vegetables. So I just sliced carrots very thinly into some rounds, which is what you're going to want to do. Make sure they're thin or they won't cook at the same rate with everything else. They'll be still hard in the end. So just take whatever amount of vegetables you'd like, or even other vegetables that you might like, and just throw them on your sheet pan. And I'm also adding on those 3 salmon fillets I had here, and my sheet pan's pretty crammed because I don't have a very large oven, so I can only use a certain size baking tray in there. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and season those with some garlic powder and salt and pepper, and I had forgotten to coat those salmon with oil on top, so I gave it a spritz with some olive oil as well. And I'm just using my tongs to kind of lightly toss those vegetables to get the seasonings throughout them a little bit better. And now I'm just taking this Sweet Baby Ray's sweet teriyaki sauce, and I'm going to go ahead and just drizzle that across all of my salmon and all of my vegetables. And I would say I used about a third of the bottle, which is about 5 ounces. Of course, you could use any sauce you'd like, bottled, or you could make your own. Like I said, I was just trying to make this a quick meal. So yeah, I'm using this bottled kind, and it's really good. And you're going to go ahead and bake that at 400 degrees for about 18 minutes. You can check it at about 15 depending if your oven runs hot or not. You just want an internal temperature for the salmon of 145 degrees. And there's it all out of the oven. This was really, really delicious. I put a little bit of sesame seeds, and we loved this. I also served that with some brown rice on the side. This last meal is a lemon ricotta Parmesan pasta with spinach and chicken. I'm going to start off by taking some bow tie pasta. I'm going to be using 8 ounces worth, and I'm going to just boil that to my package directions. And while that is cooking, I'm going to get started on my chicken. I'm just taking 1 large chicken breast, and I went ahead and pounded that very flat, pretty thin. And now I'm just seasoning it with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, I believe some garlic and herb seasoning, as well as just a little bit of the Tony Chachere's, and some lemon pepper. And I'm cooking that in some olive oil over medium-high heat in my skillet. And while that's in there, I'm just seasoning the other side. And I'm going to cook this for 4 to 5 minutes on that side, and then flip it for an additional 4 to 5 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'm getting some lemon zesting going on here. I don't have a zester, but I have this really fine grater, so I'm using that just to get all the zest off of this lemon. And here you'll just see me flipping that chicken. And once my pasta was done cooking, I'm just showing you, I reserved a cup of that pasta water on the side to maybe thin out the sauce later. And now to the pot that I cooked the pasta in, I'm adding some olive oil and some butter. I don't have exact amounts, maybe a tablespoon of each. And I'm going to go ahead and add in my cooked pasta and coat it all with the oil and butter, and this will start to create a sauce. It's going to be a very light sauce, and it's also going to keep it from sticking to itself. And then I created a little space here, and I put just a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to go ahead and add in some minced garlic. I believe I minced up about, probably a lot of garlic, 6 cloves, maybe even more. You can use anywhere from 3 or more, depending on your liking of garlic. And you're just going to saute that garlic for about a minute, and then I just go ahead and stir it into the pasta. Next, I'm going to be adding in the zest from my whole lemon. I'd say it's about a teaspoon to a tablespoon max worth, just whatever was on my whole lemon, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I'm also adding in 1 cup of ricotta cheese. Then I'm adding in the half a cup of reserved pasta water, and I'm leaving the other half just to set aside in case I need any more additional later on as I stir in the cheeses. So once I give that a good stir to get that making a nice creamy sauce over the pasta, I'm going to go ahead and add in a half a cup of finely grated or shredded Parmesan cheese, and then give that a good stir to go ahead and mix it in as well so it can start to melt into that creamy sauce. So at this point I tasted it and I felt I needed a little something more, so I added in some cracked black pepper and a little pinch of red pepper flakes, and I stirred that in and tasted it again and decided it needed some salt, so I added that. I also decided to chop up some fresh basil and add it in. I thought that'd give a nice little extra flavor to it. And since I had it on hand, and then I also had some frozen spinach, so I went ahead and just defrosted that in the microwave really quick. It's about 5 ounces, so about half of a package of frozen spinach, and I'm adding that in, and you can see a little bit of clumping there, but I just used my spoon to go ahead and separate that, and it added an extra vegetable, which I always love, because we love vegetables and spinach. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and slice up that chicken into some very thin strips. And I just plated that, and I'm grating some fresh Parmesan on top of my pasta because extra cheese is always good on my end, and I just had some extra Italian bread, so I made some really quick just garlic toast out of it with butter and garlic salt, and that was all. That meal was delicious, and I hope that you enjoy these, and thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future What's for Dinner videos, and I hope you all are having an amazing week.